Thanks to Megan Pratt's there. Now, nationally televised presidential debates have been a cornerstone of American politics all the way back since Richard Nixon squared off against John F. Kennedy in 1960 for the first televised debate. And since then, the importance of these debates have grown exponentially as Americans rely on the event to help decide which candidate is going to win their vote. So joining us now to break down the history of the debates and what we can expect tonight, Doug Wead is the author of Inside Trump's White House, The Real Story of the Presidency. Welcome back to Cheddar, Doug. Great to see you as always. It's crazy looking back at those clips from 2016 when then candidate Trump didn't show any mercy whatsoever to Hillary Clinton. What do you think Trump's strategy is going to be this year going up against Joe Biden, and how different do you expect it to be tonight?
Well, I think he'll be prepared. You know, Baker, I've been a part of 5 presidential debate preps, and twice I played the opponent to the candidate who became president of the United States. So I've debated 2 presidents of the United States, each of them 4 or 5 times, many hours. Great preparation. One of the misnomers and mistakes about Donald Trump is the fiction that he doesn't read. I found him to be a great reader. The interviews I had with him in the Oval Office, he was always reading, had stacks of memos. He doesn't read books. I remember with George H.W. Bush, we pretended he was reading books and we'd compile a list because that's what journalists wanted. But a president doesn't have time. He reads a book a day, which are the thousands of pages of memorandum that he has to read that are specific to his needs. So I think the general public will tend to underestimate how much preparation a president has by the very nature of his work.
This also, too, Doug, might be one of the most important debates for Joe Biden as well. It's not like he's not new to this. He's done a couple of these debates, especially as vice president, most recently against Paul Ryan back in 2012. How do you think he's going to approach the debate, given the fact that he's kind of a policy wonk, a lot like Hillary Clinton was in 2016?
Absolutely. I think he'll be completely and thoroughly prepared. And the key for him that I'll be watching is the easy answer, the easy question. Sometimes in debate prep, a lot of time is spent on the gotcha questions, the nuanced questions, and those are really the easiest in my experience. The hard one is when Roger Mudd on 60 Minutes asked Ted Kennedy, why do you want to be president? And he froze. It's the easy question. So Biden knows the question will be coming to him about his cognitive ability, just as it came to Ronald Reagan after he kind of flubbed his closing in the previous debate. He was ready for that question. He knew it was coming, whether his age was getting to him. He hit it out of the park, the ball out of the park. So Joe Biden has all the help of academia, of Hollywood, of comedic writers, journalists who love him. He should have a fabulous one-liner ready to go and that easy question and how he handles it, to me, is going to be a real signal to how prepared he is.
Doug, we know a lot of people are going to watch this. The 2016 debates had over 80 million people watching at that time. It broke the record. We're anticipating the numbers for tonight's debates to be even bigger than that. And when you look at the polling averages, yes, they've kind of changed here or there, but they've remained mostly steady for quite a few months right now. And there's very few people out there that might be changed by tonight's performances tonight. Anything out there that you're looking for tonight that maybe sway just the small amount of swing voters that are left tonight?
Yeah, I think that Biden has an advantage going into this with that in mind, because the swing voter, it tends to be someone who's not a political junkie, who's not interested in all of this stuff. They hear the hype, so they'll watch the first 30 minutes of the debate, and then they'll turn it to another channel while you and I will memorize every line, watch it all the way to the end. The first 30 minutes of the first debate will have the largest audience, and the most important audience will be those undecided voters, small percentage of Americans that live in 7 to 9 battleground states. They will determine the outcome of this election, and that works for Biden. He only has to be good for the first 30 minutes, so he may flub up later on, and we'll see it over and over on YouTube, but he surely should have the strength and the stamina and the intellectual power to do good for the first 30 minutes. That's what he's got to do.
Doug, we know looking back at almost every single one of these first debates, the incumbent typically doesn't do very good. They're usually caught off guard, usually the first one. I remember former President Obama was definitely not as good as Mitt Romney in that first debate. Same time, in the George Bush years as well. And I think a lot of President Trump's advisors have already kind of laid the groundwork that potentially Biden might win this tonight. Is there any importance in the first debate rather than the later debates?
Yes, the first debate is the most important by far. And they try to make ground in the latter debates, and it's hard to do. And to address the point you just made, Baker, there's sometimes overconfidence for a president. They begin to feel their oats. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. I've seen it with people I knew who were personal friends who became president of the United States, and I saw what happened to them within just months. So there is a tendency for an incumbent to feel like, hey, I'm president, I should win this thing. Carter had that, felt that. Reagan felt that, and that's why he fubbed that first debate with Mondale, which set up a great moment in the next debate. So yeah, that's a very real possibility for Donald Trump.
Well, either way, it's a good day for history buffs like me and you, Doug. We've been waiting for days like this for a long time. Doug Wead, author of Inside Trump's White House, the real story of his presidency. Great to have you here, Doug. Thank you.
The debate was wild. Some of you have been sending me emails saying you haven't seen me on TV lately. I've been throttled. I've been censored. I've been shadow banned. The only way we've figured out how to get around it is if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So you hit the subscribe button and then you hit the little bell. I want to hear from you, and I hope you can hear from me, and let's beat the censors. Thank you very much.